What's up, SnEaKyNation? SnEaKy-P here, back with all the news after week number 10 and year number 2 of our San Francisco 49ers franchise, where the 49ers picked up a victory over the Washington Redskins. Let's check out some highlights. A record-breaking attempt here. It is going to be wide right. That would set the 49ers up with good field position. Quentin Patton would have the first down. Then on second down and 4, Antonio Allen would get the interception for the Redskins defense. Colin Kaepernick continuing to struggle after throwing 3 interceptions last time. However, the Redskins would try a screenplay. Quentin Dial had other ideas, and the 49ers would get the safety. At the end of one quarter, the score would be 2-0. However, early on in the second, Selleck with a nice reception there. Then on second down and 10, Willie Snead would take it the rest of the way. 38 yards out, the 49ers would go on top 9-0 early on over the Redskins. The Redskins trying to get back into the game though, and Sparks, the rookie tight end out of Duke, had himself a fantastic day. Second down and 10 from the 47, and then here is Josh Doctson, the second-year wide receiver. He had a monster game as well. First and goal, Cousins to the end zone, and Doctson, the second-year guy, would get his touchdown. 9-7 would be the score. The 49ers trying to make something happen. Owusu in motion, second down and 9, pressure on the way, and Carlos Hyde will have the catch going down the right side of the field, the 20-15-10, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Redskins sent a blitz. It did not work out, but on first and goal, the very next play, Kaepernick could have ran it in, instead tried throwing it, and Josh Norman would get the interception, his 5th of the year, the 2nd of the day for the Redskins defense, and they will take over. The 49ers would take back over though, and here is Willie Snead on a screenplay. Nobody is going to catch him. It actually counted as a run, but Willie Snead with a monster play there. The Redskins defense just not ready for that play at all, and their offense will come back out onto the field, but Seantrell Wilkerson would get the interception, his 8th interception in 9 games. The 49ers taking back over. This is Carlos Hyde up the middle. He would take it for a 20-yard gain to midfield. Then on second down and 9, overthrowing it, and Donald Butler would get the interception. That would do it for Kaepernick. 6 interceptions through 6 quarters. The 49ers decide to bench him and go with Mike Glennon for the second half, but before the second quarter comes to an end, Sean Kendall will get the interception. Both of the 49ers' first-round draft picks making plays. Here is Mike Glennon's first throw in a 49er uniform, and it is going 58 yards. Touchdown for Chris Owusu on the play, and the 49ers start to run away with this game. 22-7 would be the score. Cousins down the field, and then Jimmy Ward would get the interception. Definitely a pick fest here in San Francisco. Cousins and Kaepernick both throwing 3 interceptions to this point. That would set up a Joel Edison field goal, and the Niners would go on top 25-7. The Redskins, though, would start to get back into the game. Third down and 12. This is Doctson down the field. He would take it all the way to the 18. Then on second down and goal, Sims into the end zone, touchdown for the Redskins, and the score would be 25-14, and the 49ers would have to punt the ball away. Redskins on the move again, and Pierre Garçon would have the catch. Then on 4th and 5, they kick a field goal. So we have a 1-possession game. 25-17 would be the score on 3rd down and 7. Shaquan Fryer, though, the rookie tight end, undrafted wide receiver, moved over to tight end for the 49ers, has not been used much at all this season, but here he is with a huge play, and we have a 2-possession game once again. 4th down and 12. It's tipped into the air, and who other than Seantrell Wilkerson coming down with it. 9 interceptions through 9 games. The guy is a star, and if the ball is ever tipped into the air, I can pretty much promise you Seantrell Wilkerson is coming down with it. This is Mike Morgan getting the sack, forcing the fumble. Aaron Lynch would recover, and the 49ers would win 32-17 over the Washington Redskins to improve to 5-4 on the year. The Redskins falling to 4-5. Next up, we have our rematch with the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously not a good game for the 49ers in our first matchup. Our offense struggled greatly, did not get a single passing touchdown. We only scored an offensive touchdown with Carlos Hyde with less than 10 seconds to go. So the 49ers, and they're playing on the road this time, it's certainly going to be an interesting battle as we try to get ready on offense. Now, you'll see Kaepernick is running the drill, but the 49ers do have some decisions to make. Stay tuned for later in the video on who will be getting the start, but definitely going to be an interesting battle. The Seahawks seem to be back into rhythm here. They're playing very well right now, and after shutting down the 49ers offense last time, it's certainly going to be a tough matchup. Our press question coming from Jalen Young. With the Young defense improving week by week, do you think this defense could develop into one of the best in the NFL? This is certainly the goal. I said from the get-go, taking over the 49ers, we wanted to get back to having a dominant defense. Now, what I will say is while our defense has been doing an outstanding job of creating turnovers this year, we still have been giving up a ton of yards. Now, they kind of rectify that in the end because the 49ers red zone defense has been very, very solid. But there are still big gaps that we have to fix. We did a great job in run defense against the both the Seahawks and the Redskins over the last two games, but it has been something that has kind of haunted us throughout the season. So we definitely need to try to improve, get a little bit more consistent there. We'd like more of a pass rush as well, and then maybe another cornerback, but the goal is to certainly have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and while I do think we're a little bit away from that right now, I can certainly see this defense developing into that. Chantrell Wilkerson has been amazing. Sean Kendall has shown a knack for making plays as well. Mike Morgan was a great pickup in the offseason. Zach Brown's made some plays too, so I certainly can see this defense becoming there. I don't think we're there yet. I don't know how far out we are from being there, but I definitely like the potential. Let's go ahead and check out the scores from around the NFL. We have a tie, 17-17, the Jags and the Ravens getting the tie. The Ravens now at 3-5-1 after going 3-13 last year. The Jags 1-7-1 after going 9-7 last year. I am still unsure of what happened with the Jags between last year and this year. They seem to have made some good draft choices, but it is just not working out for them. And maybe the big thing is that they spent their first round draft selection on Kadarius Folston. And while he has been a very good receiver for them, the Jags had bigger needs. And that really might be what's coming back to haunt them. Their defense needed probably more help than it got this offseason. 31-13, the Steelers with the victory over the Chicago Bears. The Steelers now 7-2 on the year. The Bears at 5-4. Steelers went 9-7 last year. The Bears at 3-13. And this Steelers offense is just a force to be reckoned with. Look at Parker Finner, the rookie out of Wisconsin. We saw his brother had an outstanding game last week for the Bengals, and there he is, Parker, having a great game of his own. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards on the day. Another rookie, Kenny, there for the Bears. Sacks, McPhee and Acho each going to get 2 there. Zimmer with a sack and a half, a rookie for the Steelers. So a lot of rookies making an impact in this game. Drake Kirkpatrick with an interception there. Fumbles forced, and we've got nothing. 23-17, the Giants with a victory over the Chiefs. The Giants had a bye week last week, and it seems to be doing them some favors. They are now 3-6 on the year. The Chiefs at 4-5, a battle of, well, I guess it looks like Alex Smith has actually returned. Obviously, they had been doing better with their backup over the last few weeks, but I don't know why they decided to bench Hogan while he had won 2 or 3 in a row there for the Chiefs. Alex Smith just not getting it done against an injured Giants team as well that did not have Eli Manning. Interesting decision, but again, Alex Smith is the better quarterback, so when he comes back, it's tough to say no, even though Kevin Hogan had been playing very well for them. 28-21, the Patriots were on a bye week, and after winning 6 in a row, it does not look like it did them any favors. Another good game from James Vallejo. He did throw 2 interceptions. He did get 259 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Panthers improved to 5-3-1 on the year. Patriots fall to 6-3 after that loss, but they had won 6 in a row. The bye week might have taken them out of some momentum a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we move forward. Again, James Vallejo has had a few games with interceptions, but to see him throw 2 this game, I don't know. We'll see. The Panthers do have a great defense, so I guess that could explain it. Ben Wickery and Boston would have the interceptions against Vallejo there. Fumbles forced, 2, one by Ninkovich, 1 by Coleman. They would each be recovered. 38-28, the Browns with a victory over the Jets. The Browns improved to 2-6-1, and look at Houston Church, 239 yards. He did throw 2 interceptions to go with this touchdown, though. The Jets fall to 3-6 with the loss there. The Browns went 9-6-1 last year. Not doing that great this season. The Jets went 8-8 last year. They are struggling very much this season as well. But the Browns did pick up their second victory of the year here. Sacks, 2.5 for Newsome, 1 by Hardy. A few players going to split one there as well. Interceptions, Gilchrist Robinson and the rookie Deon Divins out of Pittsburgh. So again, teammates of Sean Kendall in the secondary there. Going to have a few fumbles forced and recovered. But look at this. Look at these yards. 4 defensive touchdowns on the game. That is absurd. And Deon Divins being one of them, actually. So it's nice to see the rookie make some plays. 42-21. The Saints get the victory over the Vikings. The Saints improved to 7-1-1 on the year. The Vikings falling to 4-5 after going 11-5 last year. Again, Jeremy Hill having a great game for his new team. And the Saints are really right there with the Steelers in terms of having the best offense, but what is not really expected, the Vikings have one of the worst defenses in the NFL this year. I don't know what's going on over there. We know they have a lot of great playmakers. Their defense was killer last season for them as well, but it is just not getting the job done. There's McCauley, a rookie, getting an interception for them, though. Fumbles forced, 2 fumbles forced, none recovered. Harris Blevins being one of those. 31-6, the Texans with the victory over the Colts. The Texans now at 5-4 on the year. The Colts at 1-8, and Andrew Luck, 77 yards on the day, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I believe the Colts were held to a field goal last week as well in Andrew Luck's return. So over 2 games with Andrew Luck back, they have totaled 9 points. I do not know what is going on in Indianapolis. After going 8-8 last season, they have taken a huge step back. And again, the injury to Andrew Luck explains it. But now that he's back, you would not anticipate their offense struggling this much. Of course, the Texans do have a good defense, though. 24-19, the Seahawks with another victory, this time over a very good Arizona Cardinals team. Once again, though, the Seahawks offense really not looking that great. Their defense just kind of stepped up when it needed to. The Seahawks now at 5-4 on the year. The Cardinals fall to 7-2, and we talked about it earlier. The Seahawks struggled greatly to start last year. They ended up picking up their play in the second half of the season and winning the division. We might be seeing the same thing here after getting a win against a very good Cardinals team that came into this matchup 7-1. We saw them decimate the 49ers, at least our offense as well. So it's interesting. But again, the Seahawks offense continues to struggle. We're not really seeing great performances from Russell Wilson yet. We know he's capable of it, but it's not happening as of right now. There's Jaron Reed, and look at Clifton Page going to force a fumble and recover it as well. 21-10, the Broncos with the victory over the Chargers. The Broncos improved to 6-3 on the year. The Chargers continue to struggle after going 14-2 last year. They are currently at 4-5 this year. And again, looks like Zach Lindsey kind of falling out of favor a little bit. I think Paxton Lynch was just hurt to start the year. Zach Lindsey came in and played fantastic. Probably better than I feel like Paxton Lynch has been playing, but we'll see what happens as we keep an eye on it. The Chargers defense was the best in the NFL last year, and they're just not making plays at the same rate that they were then. I don't know what's going on there. 24-21, the Bucs would get the victory over the Eagles. Both teams 5-4 after this, but the Eagles have now lost 4 in a row after starting out 5-0. The Bucs were very similar in this regard. They started out 4-0. They lost 4 in a row. They did pick up a win here in the battle of struggling teams, but hot starts and they just vanish just like that. The Eagles continue to struggle with their 4th straight loss. Again, they went 4-12 last year, so they're already ahead of that, but I'm sure they would like to turn it around very, very soon. The Bucs went 7-9 last year. Maybe this one will get them back on track for that. Fumbles, let's see, nothing happening there. 36-29, the Packers with a victory over the Lions. The Packers at 6-3 on the year, and the Lions fall to 4-5 after going 12-4 last season. The Packers went 10-6 last year, but Aaron Rodgers having himself a great season as expected, really. Marvin Jones, a great game here for the Lions as well. 2 touchdowns, not interceptions, by Wilson as well there. Defensively, let's see what we got, and Whitehead would lead the way with 12 tackles on the day. Mike Daniels with a sack and a half. A rookie Troutman would get a sack there for the Lions as well. Sam Shields, the only interception on the day. Fumbles forced, we are going to have one by Rollins. He would recover it as well. 28-17, the Bills with the victory over the Bengals. The Bills improved to 4-5 on the year. The Bengals falling to 3-6. Again, this is the defending Super Bowl champions right now, and they are just not looking good. As many losses as they had all of last year, they barely worked their way into a wild card spot and just ended up winning from there. But, you know, at 3-6 right now, they face a long road if they would like to somehow get into the wild card. There's still plenty of games left, but it's an uphill battle for this Bengals team if they would like to defend their championship. A lot of sacks going on in this, a lot of half the sacks as well. Gilmore with the only interception on the day. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. Riley would force and recover. Ray would force but would not recover. 35-6, the Falcons with a victory over the Dolphins. And this is the other team that was in the Super Bowl last year, but they did not win. The Falcons now at 5-4 this season. The Dolphins at 2-7, continuing to struggle after going 4-12 last year. And, you know, it's interesting to see both teams that were in the Super Bowl kind of struggling. There's Vance McDonald with good game for the Falcons, former 49er there. And the Falcons are still very much in it as well. They have a winning record right now. They're at 5-4, but you know, if they don't win the division, which is not looking likely, the Saints are a little bit out ahead. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Matthew Stafford, 24-38, 301 passing yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Kennard with 14 tackles and a sack. Justin Houston, 12 tackles and 4 sacks. And then Brock Osweiler, 19 of 30, 241 yards, 3 passing touchdowns for him. For the players of the week and week number 10, let's go ahead and check out some scouting here. We got Ty Fluker, 6'2" out of Georgia, left outside linebacker, projected to go in the early second round, but rates out as an undrafted talent. Not too sure there. Demetric Durant, 6'5", 22 years old, out of Memphis. Red zone target, great catching. Very bad spectacular catch, though. Torrey Robbins, early third-round selection, right end here. And this is a guy worth keeping an eye on. Good size, fits in our defense very well. Good power moves, too. As far as re-signing players go, I don't think we are going to try to re-sign anybody yet. If you guys would like to bring any of these guys back, let me know in the comments. Bo Allen would be a guy that I'd consider. He's only 25 years old. Quentin Patton did very well for us last year. Not so much this year. He has been struggling a little bit. And we have made a change at quarterback. Mike Glennon will be getting the start against the Seattle Seahawks. Colin Kaepernick did not fare well against the Seahawks last time. It's going to be an even tougher game going on the road to Seattle. So the battle of the former NC State quarterbacks between Glennon and Russell Wilson there. That is going to be it for this episode. We have already seen the Seahawks depth chart. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. And I will see you guys in week 11 as the 49ers take on the Seattle Seahawks. Later.